Okay, so I was working on this super fast box unloader, and I'll show you it here really quickly. Oops. Yeah, so the idea was if I take my dual dispenser core with 12 dispensers all being loaded at double hopper speed, continuously fed and refilled by a lot of hoppers. Um, 12 dispensers would be 24 hoppers for that. If I run this underneath carts, underneath boxes continuously, how fast can I unload the boxes with this? So, the main problem I was having though is how do I detect when a box gets emptied? Because if I put in like a single item box in here, that thing is gone so quickly. Because of startup, it actually detected that. But if we put in a few of these, the second one here, it didn't detect that. It's just an empty box sitting here. This detects when it's empty, extends this piston, powers this line, which powers this piston, which would break the box. But if the box is placed and unloaded too quickly, or it placed an empty box, it won't have time to detect that because it needs to actually be on for a little bit for it to trigger. Okay, and but then I was also watching some of Beast's old videos where he was doing a fast unloader as well with lots of stacked carts. Static though, in a cart pyramid, as I call it. He always had to use a clock to get around this. And an older version that I had also had a gigantic clock, but it slowed the machine down. Here, I'm just going to show that.
Make a nice little clock if you place that. So you can see it'll start cycling just like so. And you don't want that to be cycling for long, so let's go and get all of them.
Even in this simple box unloader that he had to use a clock. And this one.
Is it starts this clock when there is no shulker box. When there is a shulker box, or isn't any items being sorted. When there are items being sorted, it turns off this clock immediately, unloads the items, and then when it detects an empty shulker box, starts this clock again. That's what's going on. Yep.
Yeah. So that's exactly what it is. And now I was like, okay, well, in the past here, ooh, is that going to crash anything? Let me kill this die. Okay. Just end this quickly. Okay, cool. This is just for respawning carts and testing. Whole system is vanilla. No command blocks needed. Okay, back to point. Now on all these like much older box unloaders here, those are actually kind of newer. There was this old concept that Samos the Sage used, where partially powering the block the comparator reads from or through with the shulker box in front. Let me grab an empty box, empty box, empty box. When it reads an empty box, it will then trigger the box to be broken. This one also has that old circuit, so it actually has to have some items in it first. Okay, should have planned this part a little bit more. Just give it some more items. Okay, there we go. Now it empties. Seriously? Should have broken the box. No, 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 no. Don't go away, don't go away. Okay, just give you this one. Oh, idiot. Doesn't work in this version. Gotta use my fixed version. Can't believe I was that stupid. Okay. because of the 1.16 dust change, this dust 15 actually powers the block. That's why its design's broken. There's lots of fixes out there. One of them is just move the redstone block out, power it from here. Or comparator come in with signal strength 14 from the side. Okay, back to the point. That's better. Whenever it reads an empty box, the comparator turns off and it triggers box breaking. It doesn't need to see items in the box for a while. Just the moment there's an empty box, it breaks it. And here's a simpler system by Unnerving that just compacted that idea down. So we've got our signal strength 14 powering the block, reading through it. And then down here, we just have a falling edge detector that pulses the piston and the item hopper to make sure the box goes in the output. Now, wait. And then just to dispense the next box, it just reads from the comparator and pulses that dispenser, and new boxes will go through this hopper. So sends more pulses reading from the comparator into the dispenser. This is actually only reliable because it does double pulse this on both sides. It's a note that a lot of people forget. Yeah, cool. So now if I use this concept on my box unloader, probably would work. Like here, he could have used that and removed the clock. The clock wouldn't be needed at all. And here's the general idea. It's just item in the box, triggers. But empty box, it'll be off. So you just detect when that's off, break the box. It won't be easy to swap that in here because this actually is being clocked. So I can't just power this block, I'll have to move everything around. But that's really cool.